Production. In this assignment, our group will look at the comparison of risk experienced by two food industrial companies, namely Nestle Berhad and Seng Industrial Berhad. Both companies are companies that produce food products in the food industry. Nestle Berhad has been supplying nutrition to Malaysians since 1912 through its brands and quality products and maintaining their halal integrity. This company is also definitely known as the largest food producer in the world. Nestle addressed to a slogan where good food, good life, which means nutritional deficiencies can occur when quality food is less accessible. Therefore, the Nestle company believes that good food leads to a good life. Nestle is also determined to be a reference for financial performance and trusted by all stakeholders, in addition to continuing to be a food, health, nutrition and health company. Industrial Berhad is a company that was incorporated on 4 October 1991. The vision for this company is creating value together to a better future. The mission is to provide quality products and excellent services that differentiate us from others, to be the preferred partner and promote win-win business relationships, to achieve sustainable growth and return for our shareholders over the long term, to be the employer of choices, and to be a good corporate citizen in harmony with the environment and the communities we serve. Pass to Shi Wen and also Angel.
Now, I would like to present the risk, sources of risk, and severity of risk faced by the company. What is risk? Risk is an unbearable aspect of business and public life, dynamic market relations, and provide the uncertain in the environment in which businesses and governments operate. Today, business world is constantly changing, unpredictable, volatile, and seem to become more complex daily. By its very nature, it is fraught with risk. Risk is the possibility that an event will occur and adversely affect the achievement of objectives. It could have a positive or negative effect. Next, I will be explaining non-financial risk. Measuring non-financial risk is not straightforward. It's because non-financial risk originate outside of financial market and are challenging to manage. There are two types of risk, which are operation risk and health and safety risk. Operation risk. Nestle and Berhad. Nestle face operation risk for its employee, which is a people risk. People risk is the risk of financial losses and negative social performance related to inadequacy in human capital and the management of human resources. For example, Nestle Malaysia Berhad is a leading food and beverage manufacturing company. If Nestle Malaysia Berhad does not retain and recruit talented employees such as technicians and auditors, the success of the company business strategy will be affected. Besides that, Nestle faces the sources of its raw material risk. It's because change in raw material risks are inevitable. Both supplier and consumer of cell culture product need a systematic approach to assess and mitigate risk. Nestle Malaysia Berhad is subject to the raw material risk, mainly due to the fluctuations in price of raw material like sugar, cocoa, dairy, palm oil, soya, sugarcane, vegetable, banana, hazelnut, cereal, and grain, and other material that are required by the company food and beverage business. Seng Industry Berhad. Seng Industry Berhad face operation risk for the human error. Seng was exposed to operation risk due to the poor management team and operating system. According to the 2020 annual report, it is clearly shown that the operating cost of Seng is slightly increased over this year, which emerged from 256 million in 2019 to 272 million in 2020. Seng should improve efficiency and reduce operation costs to overcome the operation risk. Seng faced the sources of its raw material risk because the rising cost of raw material was a consideration of obstacles risk for Seng. It's because the rising cost of raw material was a consideration of obstacles or risk for Seng. Seng Industry Berhad report a decreased fourth-quarter net profit of RM 9.9 million, mostly due to the higher cost of key raw material. Health and safety risk. Nestle and Berhad, based on the annual report of 2021, Nestle faced the health and safety risk by failing to comply with the local health and safety regulations and nurture safe, healthy workplace in all countries where Nestle operates. According to the press report for October 2022, Nestle were fined after a worker was injured at the chocolate factory. The worker was injured while checking the machines. His shift was caught in a roller, which brought his left arm into the machine, trapping in between the roller and conveyor belt. Seng Industry Berhad. There are some negative effects on Seng injury occupation hazards, lost day and facility resulting in productivity loss and reputation risk. Seng conducted an emergency response plan for employees in 2021. This system provides the audiometric test with doctor consultations, helping them to reach agreement on a common safety practice. As a result, Seng has improved the number of injured workers decreased of 5 cases during the year compared to the 9 cases in the previous year.
Now is financial risk. Financial risk is the risk that a business cannot meet its debt repayment obligation, which could mean that the potential investor will lose the money invested in the company. There are 3 types of financial risk, which are liquidity risk, credit risk, and market risk. Liquidity risk. In the set of Nestle Berhad, Nestle Malaysia current ratio is less than 1, which is 0.86 in 2020 and 0.98 in 2021. This has shown that Nestle Malaysia needs more liquidity and the ability to meet short-term debt obligations due to a lack of resources to pay back its debt over the next 12 months. Like the current ratio, Nestle Malaysia has a big problem from the quick ratio point of view. All of its quick ratio are below 1, and most of the time, Nestle quick ratio was 0.68 in 2021 and 0.6 in 2020. In terms of risk level, Nestle is facing a high risk performance over these 5 financial years, and it should reduce its short-term liability or increase the volume of short-term assets and cash flows to better finance its business as there is too much debt settlement that is not able to be cleared by the current performance. However, in Seng Industry Berhad, Seng Industry Berhad current ratio was 0.68 in 2021 or 0.79 in 2020. This indicates that it lacked the resources to repay its debt over the next 12 months. The cash ratio is a company cash and cash equivalents to its obligations. This is the most conservative estimation method to measure liquidity. In the case of Seng, the cash ratio was 0.21 in 2020 and 0.43 in 2021. Seng is facing liquidity risk from the 3 aspects of its ratios. Quick ratio did not perform well, but its other liquidity ratio components still need to meet the requirement since 2021. The company should seek to improve its liquidity and quick ratio to prevent certain stock credit risk. In the side of Nestle Berhad, Nestle have a chance of being exposed to credit risk. The solvency ratio is used to measure the ability of a company to make its long-term obligation. Its solvency ratio was 2.8% in 2021 and 1.7% in 2020. From 2020 to 2021, that will also have a percentage far below 20%, which means Nestle financial condition is considered very unhealthy. This will be a problem because it shows that the company won't be able to keep paying off its debt. However, in Seng Industry Berhad, Seng Industry Berhad has found it challenging to recover trade and other receivables over this year. As a result of trade and other receivables, the group is exposed to credit risk. Since the collection period has shortened, Seng's credit control to receivable is solid and effective. Other than that, bad debt export to Seng are immaterial due to the continuing oversight of its receivable balance. Last one is in market risk. In the side of Nestle Berhad, transactional exposure give rise of foreign currency risk. Nestle use currency future, forwards, swap, and option as part of systematic hedging approach tailored to the company's unique requirements. Nevertheless, is highly susceptible to currency exchange rate risk due to the fluctuating exchange rate of the several currencies it uses in its operation. Thus, the group hedges part of its project foreign transactions and net assets denominated in foreign currencies. However, in Seng Industry Berhad, Seng face market risk, which is the potential for an asset or liability to lose value owing to fluctuation in market circumstances. Seng interact with market risk within the export sector. When Malaysia currency is much stronger than the currencies of other nations, export product will sell for a higher price. In addition, Seng faces top competition in China, and the group must concentrate on inventing new tests and packaging to increase
Now,
sales.
me and my teammate Ching Fei will be presenting about the risk management process used by Nestle and Berhad and Seng Industry Berhad in responding to various business risks. First things first, what is risk management process? Risk management process refers to identifying, monitoring, and controlling risk to reduce the damage they may do to a company. The 5 processes in the risk management process are identify the risk, analyze the risk, evaluate or rank the risk, treat the risk, and lastly monitor and review the risk. There are 3 types of risk identified in Nestle Malaysia Berhad, which are operational risk, health and safety risk, and financial risk. First and foremost, operational risk. There are 2 types of risks faced by Nestle, which are people risk and the risk of raw materials. To solve this risk, Nestle has conducted programs focusing on health and well-being to retain employees. One of the programs is called Wellness at Work, whereby this initiative seeks to give the staff at Nestle a chance to improve their health and well-being. Activities such as flash mob, weekly group exercise, and health screening were included in this program. Secondly, risk of raw materials. To solve this issue, Nestle has conducted the enterprise risk management process, which is used to monitor and respond to threats such as climate change. Next, Nestle is also committed to reduce the GHG emissions that is related to production and distribution of food and beverages. Nestle also assists farmers in becoming more resistant to climate change effects by participating in assessments of climate change vulnerability, action plans, and strategies for areas and sectors. Next, moving on to the health and safety risk, Nestle has developed a system for this risk, which is called Occupational Safety and Health Management System. To solve this issue, Nestle has provided an effective injury management system that assists those employees who have been injured to return their work. Nestle has also given information and training to workers and contractors so that they are aware of their roles and responsibilities in reducing the risk of accident or sickness in the workplace. Now, moving on to the first financial risk, which is liquidity risk. Nestle Financial International Limited, or NFI, has implemented several risk management processes to solve Nestle's liquidity risk. Firstly, NFI has achieved its financial goals primarily through the sale of debt securities with a fixed maturity date on the capital market. Secondly, NFI relies on financial institutions' willingness to extend credit in the form of loans or credit lines. Financial institutions' readiness to extend credit in the form of loans and credit lines has decreased during the past few years due to structural shifts in the banking industry. NFI has ensured that it will continue to have access to the capital markets by taking steps to limit and minimize its dependency on financial institutions like banks. Now, moving on to the second financial risk, which is credit risk. NFI has set a goal of significantly lowering the credit risk associated with the liquid assets, non-current financial assets, and derivative investments. Credit limitations are determined by considering each counterparty size and potential for default. When choosing a credit limit, the approach that is applied takes into account the counterparty's balance sheet, credit ratings, risk ratios, and default possibilities. As a direct consequence of this evaluation, adjustments have been made to the credit limits and risk allocation. Moving on to the last financial risk, which is market risk. NFI attempts some reduction of translation risk by connecting the currency of cash flow to the debt by employing substantially equivalent interest swap contracts and currency swap contracts. On the other hand, a Nestle branch was established in accordance with the global procurement hub model to assist the procurement operations of Zone Asia, Oceania, and Africa. In order for Nestle to achieve more leverage, Nestle is responsible for transacting commodities contracts. All commodity contracts, following the criteria established by the holding company, are entered into for the aim of hedging, which safeguards the group from price changes.
Seng Industry Berhad. Operational risk. The main goal of Seng Industry Berhad operations
Risk management is to ensure that all operational risk has been taken into account. Hapsan Industry Berhad made an effort to keep a comprehensive inventory of all the operational hedges it encountered. The board of directors and senior management of Hapsan Industry Berhad must actively monitor the operational platform for risk management. Health and safety risks. Hapsan Industry Berhad should be highlighted that violations of health and safety rules can have a wide spread of related effects. Hapsan Industry Berhad evaluations consider the workplace existence stats and any future problem. Hapsan Industry Berhad always prioritizes effective control method above other options. The performance of Hapsan Industry Berhad personnel in team of health and safety is thus use the same technique as other business-related metrics. Financial risk, liquidity risk. The financial risk analysis of Hapsan Industry Berhad considers the issue a business can have during regular business operations. Examine Hapsan Industry Berhad organizing financial activity, particularly cash flow, to spot any potential financial hedges. Confident the likelihood that a risk will materially with the possibility of suffering a financial loss is the most straightforward technique for carrying out a financial risk analysis at Hapsan Industry Berhad. Financial risk, credit risk. Seng will benefit from Hapsan Industry Berhad better knowledge and comprehension of their risk capability, risk tolerance, and attitude. A strategic or plan of action for addressing financial risk, event or incident that have unfavorable financial result or effects in the financial risk management strategy of Hapsan Industry Berhad. Market risk. Hapsan Industry Berhad routine evaluation will ensure that different difficult or factors do not raise the degree of risk in the entry scenario even after hedges are reversed to the under control. Hapsan Industry Berhad will be better able to balance the benefit and hedges of very prospective cost of action while stressing the importance of upholding safe internal control.
Conclusion, the outcome that can be obtained are the sources of risk faced by the Nestle and Hapsan Berhad companies are non-financial risks, which are divided into operational risk and health and safety risk, and financial risks are liquidity risk, credit risk, and market risk. Apart from that, the risk management process used is to identify the risk, followed by analyzing the risk, evaluating the risk, treating the risk, and finally monitoring and reviewing the risk. So that's all from our group. Thank you.